Hey everybody, Asher here, back with some more Hearthstone, where you can see from my rank I almost dropped down to rank 9. Which is a little embarrassing because I went away from hitting rank 6 and then went tilt, and then made the wonderful mistake of saying I will play until I win one more game. It took a while. It was actually a pretty interesting journey. I did some of the Dragon Reno N'Zoth deck. It didn't do very well. I did a little bit of Dragon Tempo Warrior, and it was inconsistent. I was getting some really good results with the Variant Tempo deck that I was using last season, and then it didn't work out very well. And then, well, we're going to go back to the C'Thun Renolock, because I was losing more, not because of I was ahead, or there were some losses that I took because I was just really far behind. But then there are some times where I was making some bad plays because I was on tilt. Let's change that today. As I've said before, playing on tilt is, well, for those of you who first off don't know the term, it just pretty much means that you're mentally off. You're mentally off your game. Something has triggered you, and pretty much you are not making sound decisions, rational decisions. Like, where I've done well in the past is I'll look at the game, I'll look at a board state, I'll think mathematically, what can I do, what can my opponent do, and then work it out from there. But when you're on tilt, the math kind of goes out the window a little bit. So let's see here. We are playing a C'Thun Renolock, and I do have the deck list on the right. It's a very robust list. It runs Jiraxxus. And Jiraxxus is kind of your alternate win condition. Sometimes it's better to play Jiraxxus before Reno, but not always. But I think in terms of this starting hand, we're playing against legendary player More Milk. I will keep Disciple of C'Thun and Twilight Drake. One of the things I like about C'Thun Renolock, and also N'Zoth Renolock, which I haven't played nearly as much, is that it's much more of a mid-range deck. You get to put some pressure on the board instead of just sitting and hoping and praying that you draw a Reno and then survive. But of course, against Druid, it's always going to be a little bit of a test, because what's going to end up happening is that we have someone who may have a very reactionary hand, especially if he's running like any kind of token-based Yogg list, especially the one by, I keep wanting to call him Just Saying, but that's not it at all. Jackie Chan, who did very well in a tournament recently. So let's see here. We can tap, and we don't have to play anything, but we are going to play something. So this is going to make it look like we're in the N'Zoth list. This is mainly to challenge anything that possibly comes on. I don't run Power Overwhelming. It's possible to draw it from a Dark Peddler. That's not good for me. And he's going to be able to coin out something else that could be good. Coin Raven Idol, probably. Alright. Well, we're just going to have to make the best play we can and hope that he doesn't get some massive turn. Fortunately, he didn't grab Innervate. Oh, did he grab Innervate? Spoke too soon. Alright. That's bad. And this is what happens sometimes where you just get overrun. We are turn 3. We really need a Hellfire. We're not getting it. We have to stick with the plan as best we can to try and survive here. Because right now, and this is where maybe I was running a little tilt in the past, but I mean, you really can't do anything about this. Some games, when you play Hearthstone, you're going to lose. The goal is to get like a 60% win percentage. And it's not even that I'm necessarily out. My health is still okay. I could draw into Reno. I have to survive 2 more turns, and he could have Savage Roar right there. But this is just one of those... is that Mulch? No, Swipe. Okay.
I am ready to learn.
But I mean, he was able to get an Innervate from Raven Idol, and he had Teacher coin Power of the Wild in hand. Mortal Coil is not going to do a lot of work for me here. Because unfortunately, I'm not in a position where I can take this out. Still, I guess probably, as much as I want to develop the C'Thun minion, it doesn't do very much for me. That won't do next turn if I even survive. So let's see what we draw. Okay, Doomsayer. Oh god. You know what I did there? Maybe we're still on tilt after all. I miscounted my mana total. I thought I had 6 mana to play with when I was off a turn. So what did I say before? We're gonna clean up our turns. It's funny. It's funny. I was really in a groove last season, and last season I heard a lot of people say it was very difficult for them to climb ladder. This season, I have not been in that group. Tempo decks, aggro decks, I haven't done very well with. I've actually had a lot more success climbing with control decks. So there's another Innervate. He actually was carrying that one, so there's Ray. I am pretty much toast. Unless I draw Reno right here, I'm dead. Like, Twisting Nether is way too late. And that's how it goes. That's how you lose the game. But how do you beat a Reno deck? You put a lot of pressure on before they can play their value game and get that out there. And I mean, I just had a slow start. Let's do another one. I have actually, even though I have a decent record, like 65% win percentage with this deck this season, I've yet to record a win. Maybe we can do that this time, but I've yet to record a single win with this deck. It's only been when I'm playing off camera or playing on my phone or playing on God knows what. So let's see. Hunter this time. So we could be going back to rank 9, and like I said, we're just trying to undo some damage. We did get Reno, which is good. Since I have Reno, I am going to ditch the Twilight Drake and the C'Thun's Chosen. Twilight Drake actually may be a decent keep in usual list here, but I want to try and get some faster cards because I don't just want to sit back Reno and still get overwhelmed. But it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a slow start. Refreshment Vendor is going to be a good drop. Disciple of C'Thun is not going to be an amazing drop. Shadow Flame could combo with that very well, so Possessed Villager is good. Oh my god, Possessed Villager, Shadow Flame. Almost wonder if I should, oh god. Well, at least this makes a decent trade. So there's that. Now, one thing I need to do that I'm not doing a very good job here is slowing down and thinking about my turns. Like, because he played Knife Juggler, it's more likely that he's playing a list that's been popularized as what's called Hybrid Hunter. And let's see here. I think the play is probably Twilight Drake because that challenges this better than Refreshment Vendor. I could attack in with this. It's not going to make the biggest difference in the world. If he attacks that with the bear, it's a heal for me. If this is a not Call of the Wild, we're not at that turn yet. Yeah, this is definitely Hybrid Hunter, so he's just going face now. Fortunately, I have Reno, so I'm going to be able to hold on here. Maybe I can get a good punish in for this greed. Alright, so I think we stock up our board and not necessarily play around the hounds here. So please hit face. There we go. Don't usually ask for please hit face, but today is a special day. Alright. So not playing around Unleash. We do have Reno. We do always want to ask the question, how far can we push Reno? I do have board control, so that's a start. I don't really like Leok here, especially with the Divine Shield and minion. Oh, he's still going face. Ooh, well, we have the punish for that, don't we? Is there any reason I'd want to do anything other than play Reno here? I could tap Imp Gang. He's played one kill command. I do have a Siphon Soul for High Main. So I guess I don't need to worry about that very much. Let's do the Reno play. 17 healing's fine. It lets me dominate. This is going to go 2.5 for 1. Pretty good. So there's Reno. That's why you always keep it in the opening hand. I pretty much do that regardless of the matchup now. Oh, please be Freezing Trap. It's probably... With this deck, it's probably Explosive Trap. So this is fine for Immortal Coil. Hellfire's alright. Let's check traps. And we're going to tap Fearlessly. And now we have all of our AoE. He has not used coin yet, so this could very well be a Call of the Wild turn. Which is okay, I have a board to counter it. Which is all you can really ask for, so he capped Call of the Wild from his mulligan. Yep. Ooh, playing that Huffer right away. Straight to the face again. Alright, well, I guess... Is there any reason... I mean, I could Demon Fire. This seems like such a better opportunity to Shadow Flame. So we're going to do that instead. There's one there. And I think I will tap again. Well, I won't tap again because I don't have the mana. So we have our C'Thun at 9. We didn't get a lot of our C'Thun buffers early, but that's one of the challenges with this deck. So does he have a second call? No, just a Flame Juggler. And he's just all about the face. Okay. Alright, we do have C'Thun. It's probably fine that Jiraxis here. I've already got my Reno out. Jiraxis technically heals me for 3. I would be trading in here instead of taking the face damage. So let's do it. He has to have top decked something that would get him back in the game. And we have the potential C'Thun for next turn. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm just going to really try and preserve my life total here. So C'Thun's up to 10. Cool.
Put this apple on your head.
And does he have Unleash the Hounds? No, just Huge Toad. Good shooting, Huge Toad. Alright, no reason not to play C'Thun here. Oh, good. That's where we want that. And does he have the means to win, or did we successfully defeat somebody and go back to being 50-50? There we go. Yay! I recorded a win! And I actually thought about my play, so that's always a start. One of the things about the Reno decks and things like that is that the games do run longer than, say, Dragon Warrior or other things. So my good play of like 60-some % win percentage is still not like awesome in terms of stars per hour or actually ranking up fast. And my goal, I did have a goal last month to hit Legend, which I didn't hit. The reason I didn't have a goal this month to hit Legend is that I knew I wouldn't have the time to put the games in. So my goal here is just to try and get rank 5 or put as much as I can in. But it seems like Hunter's actually making a comeback. Maybe Seat Story Cup had to do something with that. Alright, Doomsayer's good, Dark Peddler's good, Twisting Nether's too slow for Hunter. Although it's not bad, I'd rather get Reno. I don't think I'll be able to cheese out Bran, but a Bran Dark Peddler looks really nice. Let's see here. Alright, so they go first. They do nothing. Craze Worshipper, a card that's marginal, but because it's a Reno deck, we run it. Usually he gets maybe even just 1 point instead of 2. But a 10-10 C'Thun's good enough, as you saw in that last game. So is this Yoggen load? He hasn't dropped anything yet. This does potentially let me drop Bran and Dark Peddler. So tapping's okay. I'd rather stop the play because he's itching to do something here. Or if he wants to use removal on this, we'll just drop the Doomsayer now. Doomsayer versus Hunter on turn 2 does deny a lot of plays they can make. Even if it's just Animal Companion. So we've officially denied the play. That's good. Now hopefully we can play Bran with impunity. Maybe we can live the double Dark Peddler dream. Twilight Drake with the double hit is not as strong in this matchup, if only because there's a lot of times where... Is it Deadly Shot? Okay. Is not as strong in this matchup, at least for a few reasons. One of which is that you have hard removal like that, whether it's Deadly Shot or Hunter's Mark. But the other thing that's pretty nice, though, is that Bran, who's not the strongest card in this deck, by the way. He's a strong card, but he's not the strongest card. But Bran eating a deadly shot versus this Drake eating a Hunter shot, which the typical play is to play Drake or coin Drake on 3. Which I'll admit a mental mistake there. I should have considered that play more. So both deadly shots gone, which is interesting because he drew both deadly shots. I would be very surprised if this was not Yogg and Load. So since this is a slower matchup here, I'm going to want to be tapping more. Now it's Hunter, so that's a dangerous philosophy to have. But I have just tipped my hand that I am a C'Thun deck. So we'll see what he does here. I could play Sylvanas behind this, and that's pretty good. I don't really need to attack into that trap, so I'm not going to. So right now he's just doing damage to me, and I'm not getting taps off at all. So let's Dark Peddler just to see if that's snipe. Soulfire's good. Corruption's okay. I kind of prefer Soulfire. And we'll just try and use our mana efficiently.
My shield for Argon.
I really do hope I find some heals, though. So see, that's what I'm saying there, is that with this deck, sometimes you just run into, like, this guy very rarely gets more than +1/+1 in most matchups. But all you really care about is getting +2/+2. So he's not going to be using Power Shot. I actually played around Power Shot with the Defender of Argus. Yay, so this is Yogg and Load. Yogg and Load is a deck that is entirely concerned about. Let's see here. I'm not going to be too pissed if I lose any of these cards. So let's Soulfire first. That's probably the least important card.
Are you my master?
And is it freezing? Yes. Well, at least it's not Snake Trap. But I don't mind kicking that back and getting it again. Because at least we can use the buff.
To my side.
Unfortunately, our C'Thun is not in a very strong place right now. I need to get on that tap train in a minute. Shadow Bolt's not bad. Cycle C'Thun's not bad. I'm just going to play it just so we can use our mana efficiently and so that I can play Twin Emperor. I'd love to be able to play a Twin Emperor out and get, well, let's see. There's a lot of things I'd like to do. One of the idealer things, I guess, would be the Twin Emperor just to try and protect against potential Yogg play on turn 10. Because right now he's conceding the board. I want to see what this says. Okay. So this pretty much means we have to play Twin Emperor. And I'm not going to tap here because we have not seen a single kill command yet. And for all I know, he has double kill command and a beast. And something else that he can drop. Which, it could, if this is the deck I think it is. Ooh. Well, this is worth it.
I have no time for games.
That was a misplay. That was a total misplay. I was hoping to steal a Sylvanas, and I just killed my Sylvanas as well. 10 mana to remove a Sylvanas. Not awesome, but at the end of the day, I mean, there's not a lot of ways for you to kill your Sylvanas otherwise. So I guess technically not a misplay, maybe what I would have ended up doing, but not the play I thought I was making. So there's Yogg. As per the usual, any of this, it's going to be, he Siphon Soul himself, which means there's probably going to be a board clear in here somewhere. Yeah, that's really interesting that he's playing a Yogg and Load deck and hasn't gotten a single lock in a low. That's it. Not awful. Thing is, we don't know what kind of traps these are. I guess let's test, right? Eye for an eye, no. So, snipe, snake, or dart trap. I guess we test for snipe this way. Okay. Twilight Elder, that's not bad. Go ahead and play this. 12 health is about as close as I'm willing to cut it here. Chance that we don't draw into Reno, but we survive the Yogg-Saron. So that's a positive. And he didn't get a lot of card draw either, so he didn't really play around Power Shot. You can't really play around Power Shot. Okay, good Siphon Soul target. We can get our own Emperor too, but I'm not going to do that right now. Do you hear its call? Trying to play around Explosive Shot right here. Because most Yogg-Saron lists will run at least one. You play around Explosive Shot, for those of you who don't know, by putting your weaker minion in the middle so that the +5 damage doesn't get as much value. So, having to use a kill command on that is great. Oh boy. Jiraxxus is good here. I don't think it's necessary, but it's good. Alright, so we can play Emperor, we can Demon Wrath. If that's a second, Call of the Wild, well, it probably isn't. Just trying to remember where that card came from. Oh well. I mean, here's our two options. We could play Jiraxxus and be a little bit of a beatdown, but we could use this to heal potentially next turn. It doesn't totally screw us if he has second Call of the Wild versus right now if we just do this. Trade these. More important thing is that if we develop Therissian, we did manage to keep coin this whole game, which is good for Jiraxxus as well. But now we can definitely get the heal, and because we got the tick of cost reduction, we can summon a dude.
Mind if I roll knee?
A Light in the Darkness. Okay, so that was from the Yogg turn. Well, good news, everybody. We have lethal. Not even going to destroy his weapon. Inferno. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, 2 wins. 2 wins versus Hunter. Thought they were supposed to be faster. I guess I got some good draws. But it's interesting that I didn't get Reno that game, but I never really felt in danger. But that's because 2 very different Hunter lists.